Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 65 of my series in which I will try to collect a billion iron ingots. In today's episode, I am going to adjust my automatic ore processing right over here, and then I'm going to attempt to build 2 new turbines to harness more power out of my reactor that I have in this building over here. But first, let's go over here and let's take a look at our problem that we have. And this is the most egregious example I can find, but certain things are not getting processed because our processing is backed up really bad right now. So what I'm going to do for right now, and this is just kind of a temporary solution that I hope to reverse, I'm going to go through items one by one and determine whether it's worth processing at this point. And that's because I definitely want gold to be processed, and right now it's just kind of being blocked because other things are being processed instead. So I know I need coal, so let's take a look at silver here. So silver ore, we process that with the pulverizer, and it gives us lead as our secondary output. We don't really need that, and we don't really need the silver at this point, so let's get rid of that. So let's take a look at nickel. Do we need to process nickel? Nickel ore, pulverize, we get platinum. We don't really need that, so let's get rid of that for now. Lead, let's take a look at lead. Lead ore, pulverizer, it gives us silver as a secondary output. We do not need that right now. I do want 10 in copper. I know I want, I think if I remember right, aluminum secondary output is iron, so we still want to do that. We definitely want gold because gold secondary output I believe is cinnabar. Let's double check that, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it's cinnabar. Yes, we definitely want that still being processed. Copper, like I said, and yellowite, definitely. Over here, the only thing I think I could get rid of is emerald, because I think lapis and nether quartz produce sulfur as their secondary output. But I think emerald is just alone and doesn't produce anything in its secondary output. And I don't really need millions and millions of emeralds, so let's get rid of that for right now. And so hopefully this will help this system kind of be able to keep up. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to tap into the power of this reactor yet again to power more turbines. And that is because if we go up here to the control rods, we see that we have them inserted 66%, which means there's still a lot of power left in this reactor that this thing can distribute. And by power, I mean steam. So let's roll down to the bottom of the reactor here, and I know the maximum amount of steam a reactor can produce is actually 50 buckets per tick. Even if you build a bigger reactor, you cannot produce more steam than that. But as of right now, we are actually right at about a third of that at 17.84 buckets per tick, which is awesome because I kind of want to tap into this to create more power. So I have built a new building in between episodes, and this guy right here is hopefully going to house more turbines. But first I need to do a little bit of testing. And before I can do the testing, I need to build a couple turbines. Now, these turbines will have virtually the same dimensions as the turbines I have built before, but there will be a few differences, or I guess one difference. These turbines over here, I believe, are 12 long. The turbines I'm going to build over here are going to be 13 long, and that's because A, I have a little bit more space, and B, if we come over here and look at this right here, we see that our... Oh, shoot, that's not a good one to look at. We see that, because the coil is different, if we take a look at one of these, we see our rotor efficiency is actually not quite at 100%. If we make our turbines one longer, we can add 8 more rotor blades, and we can get to our perfect efficiency, 100%, which is what we want. So what I'm going to do is I can go ahead and build the turbines off camera. Like I said, they're virtually the same. They're just going to be one longer. And they will be started right here. And we'll go this way. And I'm going to build these guys, and then I'm going to come right back. And here are the 2 new turbines that I have built. I have decided to change the location of the fluid ports to put them on the side, and that will just kind of aid in my my placement of my semi-limitar fluid duct once I get to that. So let's take a look at how we are actually going to build this. First of all, we're going to need some of this right here. I believe we are going to need some reactor ports. There we go. I think 2 should be alright. We're gonna need this wrench, and then we're gonna need some flux duct, like always. So let's start on our plumbing. First, let's do one of the easy things, I guess. Drop down here to the basement, and we need to put our flux duct here. So cool. I was worried that I would mess that up. So what we have to do is in through here and then out and down. Let's see here. Can I get this? It looks like I can. Cool. And then I can go ahead and cover that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab some stone. Okay, grab our covers. Oh, come on. And then boulders are way out here. And then we can do the covers out here. What? That's not cool, sir. Oh, how is this guy still alive? I'm confused. Once in a while they'll survive, and they totally should not. Oh, come back. Okay, there we go. Now we can put this wall back. And I guess we could do covers over here, but I guess right now, whatever. I already spent enough time with those covers. Okay, now we need to route 2 of these guys over there. And I actually should have built the turbines kind of reversed, but that's okay, I hope. And so what we're going to do is just bulldoze a few spots here. And let's work on the input first. Actually, let's work on both of them first. We're going to have to run this kind of outside the wall and then across and then over, if that makes any sense. We'll get there. So how we're going to run this is like so. And then we're going to have to go through this wall here. And that's going to be a sandy adventure. So let's grab a shovel. And put right here. And then we have to keep it to right here. And we're actually going to need a little bit more room because I'm going to have to stack these vertically, one separated. Or I should do one separated anyways. Okay, where's the middle of the reactor? Be something like right here. No, it would be something like right here. So this should be... That's the floor. I need to go one down. So essentially, Heck, I already have a port right there. So, okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to replace this fluid duct with the semi-laminar version. And that's because, hypothetically, this has or theoretically, it has a limitless transfer rate when pressurized. So, hopefully that actually holds up, because we're going to need that virtually limitless supply here. Now, I think I'm going to kind of have to route this kind of around. Like I said, I'm going to have to stack this, so I think I have to go one down from here. Okay, which one do I need first? Let's go with this guy, and that is from the red, so I need the red version. And let's clear this out. One sand I missed. Okay, this is the red. So we need the red line right here. Whoops. And I could actually do them side by side, but I'd have to wrench all the connections away. And I'm just don't want to deal with it in case I screw something up, because that would completely destroy the system, I believe. So, or stop it from working anyways, not really destroy it. Okay, so we have more. And then lastly, let's grab this. And this should match up with the blue. And actually, we can do something like okay, cool. It's already separate fluids, so it's not going to allow it to connect up. Oh, and I have those on, so they should have started spinning. Actually, I don't want to do that because I want that torch there. So let's see here. They started to spin. Let's see if they're actually like getting any amount of fluid. It does not look like they are. They're getting something, but it's not very much. Let's see if we can't solve that. I know I need to provide more fluid via this right here, so let's adjust this. Let's just go down 10. That should be more than enough to bump my reactor up. Let's see here. What are we producing? Okay, we're having issues with water. So what we need to do, or one thing I think we might need to do, is say this right here. Preserve all exhaust fluids. If we do that, we might be okay. And I say might. I really don't know, to be honest. Yes, sweet. Cool. So this semi-laminar fluid duct apparently works super well. Or super laminar. I keep on saying semi. It's super laminar fluid duct. So that's awesome. I kind of doubted this would work, to be honest. But it looks like it's working just fine. And these turbines over here should be able to produce marginally more power than the turbines over there. And that's because the rotor efficiency over here should be 100%. Whereas over there, it's not quite 100%. So that's cool. That means I can build this thing out. I can build another huge tall tower filled with extreme turbines and make more power. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean this up. Let's grab a bunch of sand, which I actually already have. And let's fill this up real fast. And I got rid of my stone. I should not have done that. Okay, stone. That's all good. That's awesome. And then obviously at some point I need to get the reactor to where it actually needs to be rather than just adding 10%, because I know I just went a little overboard with that, but that's okay. I can neaten this up later. But for right now, let's jump back over here because we got plenty of time left and it's something I've wanted to do. I need to add a little bit of power to this system right here in the form of yet more pulverizers. As of right now, I cannot speed these things up anymore unless I were to add the thermal mediators beside all of these guys. But that would be kind of a tedious process. I'm just going to add a bunch more pulverizers. So let's go ahead and start that process. So let's grab some pulverizers. So I'm not sure how many. Let's go ahead and grab 40. And then I'm obviously going to need some item duct, some signalum plated impulse item duct. If I remember right, this system uses retrievers, so I'm going to need a bunch of retrievers. I'm going to need those pulverizers. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. And then I'm going to need cover. No, I won't need covers at some point because below is kind of a half basement. Yeah. Nobody cares about this down here. So, shoot, what else do I need? Oh, duh. I need conversion kits. And then I also need augments. And I need a bunch of them. Let's say, make 1,000 system. And that should be plenty. Okay, 3 stacks should be good. And then I think how I'm going to have this is I'm just going to set... How do I have these set up? And in the bottom, out to the top. That's really simple. That makes my job a little bit easier here. So first we're just going to lay these guys down across like so. And then... Actually, I'm worried about the impulse item ducts on top not being able to handle everything. So, we'll get there when we get there. I'm not sure if I got all of them. Looks like I did, actually. Which was pretty lucky because I was not going very slow. Okay, what I need to do to all these guys is in at the bottom and out to the top. And I need to throw in these guys. I'm going to do that for all of these new pulverizers real fast, and then I'm going to be right back. Now I have my new pulverizers installed and configured. Let's run some item duct real fast. And I've decided to do a little something that should help with my power situation. Because the signalum plated impulse item ducts up here, they have, or they always have, a kind of a limit to how much power they can transfer. So what we're going to do is the first two on either side are going to be signalum plated up here. And then what I'm going to do is use regular impulse item ducts for the rest of the area. And that's because I'm going to deliver the power for the pulverizers up here that are connected to the regular impulse item ducts. I'm going to power them from below. And by doing this, I can kind of separate the power systems. Whereas if I were to run just signalum plated impulse item ducts up here, I'd just have one gigantic power system essentially. Well, actually, it is segregated by this little guy right here. So this would be one power system, and then the rest of it would be another. But by doing this, hopefully, we should be able to manage the power a little bit easier. And I did that because I have access to a cryostabilized flux duct down here, which provides me as much power as I can possibly handle. So, and then we're going to do kind of the reverse down here. On the outsides, we're going to use the regular impulse item duct. And then on the insides, we are going to use the signalum plated. So let's go ahead and dig this out real fast, get this finished up, and then can lay down our impulse item ducts, and maybe seeing it will be a little bit simpler to understand. Okay, so we have a regular impulse item duct here and a regular one here. And I want to wrench that just to make it look a little bit better. And then over here, I can do the same for the first two. Over here, I can't do two because the second spot is where I need to draw the power from. And then we just go like this. And we have our power. Easy peasy. And hopefully this is quite enough power to power everything. It should be. I didn't do any exact math, but my rough math says it should be fine. Okay, now I need to lay down a bunch of retrievers. And I can go ahead and do that off camera. All I'm going to be doing is setting them to be always on, and I have like 40 of these guys, so I'm going to be right back after I get all that done. And everything is done. It looks like these guys are operating as they should, which is awesome. And if we run down here real fast, we see that, actually, never mind, but just a second ago this was partially empty, so that was cool. We are pulling things out and processing them rather quickly, but still we have a lot of stuff coming into our system. So yeah, there's a lot of processing happening. And hopefully the backlog kind of dwindles down at some point in the near future. Hopefully the addition of more processing and the subtraction of a few things will lead to my backlog disappearing. But I think in between episodes I'm going to expand this system and add yet more void ore miners in the basement there, because I want more stuff, because I want more iron, because I want 100 or 1 billion iron ingots, which is going to be awesome. I'm going to work on this between episodes and get it to where it should be. For right now, I think let's try that. And okay, so in today's episode, I set up additional ore processing over here, and I set up those two turbines over here and kind of proved the concept that super laminar fluiducts do indeed transfer a limitless amount of fluid if they are set up correctly, which is awesome because these things absolutely drink steam and produce a lot of water in return, and those fluiducts are handling it like champs, which is awesome. So as of right now, I have 113.6, almost 0.7 million iron ingots, which is awesome. And if I'm correct, our iron ore backlog has been completely eradicated. It looks like mostly by the macerators that I upgraded at the end of last episode. So that's kind of cool. But that also means we have a bunch of crushed iron ore that still needs to be dealt with. But that's cool. I'm completely fine with that. And yeah, I feel pretty good. Looks like it looks like my iron ingots, I'm getting somewhere between, I'm getting about 7 million per day at this point. I was at 6 million for a while, so an increase is definitely good. I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.